Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Speckman, and I am the Director of Education at the Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park. Welcome to our virtual Buffalo Navy Week program with the USS Little Rock LCS 9 crew members. When Lieutenant Kimberly King and Matthew Everett first reached out to us a few months ago to collaborate on a virtual Buffalo Navy Week, we immediately pitched the idea of collaborating with the crew of our namesake ship, USS Little Rock LCS 9. We are so grateful to Lieutenant Anthony Humko, the Public Affairs Officer, for meeting with us and for coordinating today's program, as well as some pre-recorded videos that are being shared on the Naval Park's YouTube channel throughout the week. He will also be helping us moderate today's Q&A session with the crew. Just a few details about the format of the talk before we get started. We encourage everyone to please use the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen if you have any questions. We will track those along the way, and we will give some time for that throughout the program. We also will be recording this program today. So if you are having any technical difficulties, or if you know someone who wanted to join us, please spread the word and let them know that we will be posting this program on the Naval Park's YouTube channel so that you can watch it later as well. Now, I am happy to turn it over to the commanding officer, the CO, and the crew at the Naval Station Mayport in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon. I am Commander Brian Crosby from Greensboro, North Carolina, the commanding officer of Little Rock Blue. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to participate in today's question and answer session. Greetings from, and we're down here in sunny Florida, maybe a little overcast today, but it's still warm and we're enjoying the weather down here. We look forward to your questions, standing by to answer the first one.
Copy, thank you, sir. Like we said, open to the first question. All right, our first question comes from Rebecca Johnson. I'd like to know, what's it like serving on board an LCS, and how did you come about being the CEO of the ship?
It's a great question. It's a multiple part question. Being on the ship is amazing. I thoroughly enjoy being in the Navy. I love being at sea. I love the challenges that come with being part of the Navy, part of the crew. I've gotten the chance to see the world as just part of being in the Navy. As far as becoming the CEO of Little Rock, it's a career thing. You start as an ensign with learning all the basics of what it's like to be on the ship, to learn weapons, learn tactics, and you further this education along your military path as you become a department, and then culminating in the chance to be the commanding officer of the ship. And there's specialty training that I go through for leadership and to refine tactics and ship handling. But it's a career progression that gets you to be the commanding officer. It's a humbling experience, a challenging experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's amazing. It's awesome to know that I've been entrusted not only to take care of the safety and well-being of a U.S. warship, but more importantly, the safety and well-being, taking care of the men and women who serve on board Little Rock. We don't do what we do as far as the ship without the crew. So taking care of them, make sure they're well taken care of, their well-being is good to go, is highly important to me. So it's a multifaceted thing, and I love every minute of it. I wish I could share some of the experiences with you, but thank you.
So we've got one follow-on question for the CO, and they want to know, what did you always know you wanted to be in the Navy?
To be honest, no, I didn't always know that I wanted to be in the Navy. A set of circumstances happened where I got the opportunity to attend the United States Naval Academy, and during that 4 years by the Bay, I grew to know that this is what was for me. And then when I became Ensign Crosby and Lieutenant Junior Grade Crosby, I really enjoyed what I did. I knew I was good at it, and I kept going. I knew this is the life I've chosen, and it's been very fruitful for me and my family. And I wouldn't trade the experiences and the friendships and the bonds that I've made for anything. It's been an amazing ride for the past 19 and a half years.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. CS3, why don't you come on up? So this next question comes from Mr. Steve Cole. We'd like to know, how many meals does LCS 9 crew prepare daily?
Thank you. I am a culinary specialist, third class Revis from California, and that would be an answer that I couldn't answer at the moment.
Okay. Does anyone else know how many meals are cooked aboard Little Rock on the daily basis or about? Yeah. Sir.
So, the CSs and the cooks, they prepare breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the crew. We have about, on a fully manned crew, 70 people. So 70 times 3, couple hundred meals every single day. It's a very challenging job for them because, in a minimally manned crew, there's only a limited number of people who can do all the jobs. So they do an amazing job of not only preparing the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They do an amazing job of keeping it sanitized and keeping us safe and doing all the other things that are required of them, to include watchstanding duties, to include keeping the ship clean and doing their other things that don't include cooking. So looking at about 200 meals a day for the crew.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right. Kitchen 1, why don't you come on up? All right, our next question is, what's it like serving on a ship, working long hours and constantly being away from friends and family members at sea? How do you manage that?
That's an excellent question. I'm Hospital Corpsman First Class Gregory Wilden from Harriman, Utah. Serving on board a ship, yes, it's demanding and it can be difficult at times, but it's also one of the most rewarding experiences that you can have in the Navy. I've been in for 10 years now. I can definitely say this is the most awarded I feel going home every time, knowing that I accomplished a small part of the bigger picture.
Awesome. Thank you, HM1. I appreciate the answer. You guys have more questions, feel free to type them in. We're here to answer. Lieutenant Wynn, why don't you come on up? Lieutenant Wynn, why don't you come on up? All right, our next question comes from Xavier Fields, who would like to know, how did you go about joining the Navy? What was your commissioning source? And is this always what you wanted to do?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Wynn. I'm from Douglasville, Georgia. Thank you for your question. So I didn't know I wanted to be in the Navy. My grandfather was in the Navy back when he was in Vietnam. And when it was junior year, I heard about the Naval Academy. So I did my research and I saw a lot of videos, spirit videos, especially from United States Naval Academy. And that's actually where I commissioned from. And I was like, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to serve with a purpose. And yeah, that's literally what I wanted to do. So yep, graduated from the academy. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Lieutenant. All right, got a couple more questions come in from HM1, so why don't we have them come back up to the stands. So the first question is, how big is this medical staff on board an LCS?
Great question. So the medical staff on LCS is just me. I'm an independent duty corpsman in the United States Navy, which pretty much means I'm an enlisted provider able to take care of the crew and all of the OSHA-like programs that the ship has.
Thanks, HM1. And the second question is, what would you say are the biggest challenges associated with keeping the crew healthy on board the ship? And how do you go about mitigating those things?
Yeah, so keeping the crew healthy, obviously that's my primary focus. We do quarterly inspections. I inspect the galley monthly, and then I just educate the crew on what things they can do to keep them both spiritually, mentally, and physically fit to make my job easier in the long run.
Awesome. Thank you, HM1.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have Lieutenant Lindman come up and take this next question. All right, Lieutenant, this question is, what is your job on the ship?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Katie Lindman. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. My job on the ship, I'm the auxiliary officers, but I'm also a surface warfare officer. So I have the honor and privilege of not only driving the ship, but also leading the sailors in the engineering plant.
Got you. Could you explain just how many sailors you lead and what you do in the engineering plant?
Yes, so I lead 13 sailors. I have the division officer role, so I not only handle the personal matters with all the sailors, but also all the material discrepancies and along with the corrections in the engineering plan. So it's a really rewarding job, probably the most rewarding job I've ever had.
Awesome. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
All right, CS3, why don't you come on up? Got another question for you. All right, CS3, this question comes in. We'd like to know, what's your favorite part about being a culinary specialist?
Well, my favorite aspect of being a culinary specialist is the fact that making sure that the crew gets a nutritious meal and making sure that they're happy with what they receive, the product they receive, especially when the crew gives you compliments for the work you've done. And yeah, that's my favorite part about being a CS.
Thanks so much, CS3. I appreciate it. If we could have a CO come back up. Sir, could we have you talk a little bit about what the LCS mission is as a whole and how the LCSs have been supporting the recent operations down in South America?
Thank you. Great question. The LCS is designed to be a fast, agile, mission-focused surface combatant to operate the littorals. We provide, especially Little Rock, we provide surface warfare packages, which allows us to have a specialty group of people who are used to doing the visit, board, search, and seizure operations that are currently occurring down in the Fourth Fleet area, which is South America, the Caribbean, as we do counter drug and counter narcotic operations and supporting some of the other countries down there as we try to stop the transit of illicit drugs and narcotics up to the United States. So the LCS has been, supporting those operations, and we're, moving forward to deploy to Asia. If you look at the West Coast LCS platforms, they're doing deployments in the Pacific. So we're a worldwide capable platform doing great things and supporting the combatant commanders around the globe.
Awesome, sir. And just a follow-up question, how large is your crew and what's it like running, your team every single day?
So fully manned, we have 70. It's a challenge when you have a minimally manned crew, because if you look at some of the other platforms, Navy, like a destroyer, they have 300 sailors. So we have all the requirements and all the responsibilities of a 300-person crew crammed into 70. I like to see myself sometimes as a coach. Hey, how can I get everybody moving in the right direction to make Little Rock better every day? How can I get everybody moving in the right direction to accomplish the missions with a minimally manned crew, knowing that you can only push people so hard and you kind of got to give them time to take a break and take a breath. It's a challenge. But I've been trained well. The Navy's prepared me for this. And so have the sailors, the men and women who serve on board Little Rock. They've been well trained to be multitask and multifaceted individuals who can handle the challenges that come with being an LCS sailor. It's not for the weak. It's a day in, day out grind of trying to accomplish all the mission. But it's been rewarding for all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Lieutenant Wynn, why don't you come back up? All right, so this question is, was it difficult to get into the academy? And for a high school student, what would you recommend for preparing to put an application to the academy?
It was difficult. When I found out last minute that I wanted to go to the academy, I had to work really hard to get really good grades. Definitely turn in your letters of nominations early. I recommend that. And then get your physical fitness in. I ran every day. I'm not a runner whatsoever. I was a competitive swimmer at the time. So running was a struggle for me, but I ran about 3 miles every day with right up until plebe year. And then I also went to the preparatory school as well, which they have that option as for Naval Academy students, and did my time there and then finally made it into the academy. So yes, it is a hard process, but the work to get into it is so worth it.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. All right, ET1, why don't you come on up? So our next question is, for an enlisted sailor, what's it like trying to apply for boot camp? And how did you go about that process? What was your experience like?
Thank you for your question. My name is Electronics Technician First Class Tony Dellinger. I am from York, Pennsylvania. The process for trying to get into boot camp is relatively simple. All you have to do is go to your local recruiting office and they will tell you everything that you need to do. It's a lot of paperwork. You definitely need to prepare yourself physically, as what Lieutenant Wen said. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Any guidance on how the process is for choosing which rate that you're going to choose ultimately in the Navy? And tell us a little bit more about yours.
So choosing your rate is definitely very important. You're going to want to know what you're doing and you're going to want to be happy with your job. The best thing that I could suggest for that is to just do your research. There's a lot of information online. Also talking to your recruiters about what would be the best fit for you. Me as an electronics technician, what I do on a daily basis is I work with radios, communication gear, navigation equipment, radars, stuff like that that we use to be fully operational.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ET1. All right, another question coming in for HM1. So the question is, how do you go about handling emergency dental situations?
Yes, so for emergency dental, we get training in independent duty corpsman school in San Diego. We have about a 3 to 4 week class on emergency dental procedures, and we have a small amount of supplies to be able to deal with fillings falling out, someone breaking a tooth or anything like that. And then we're prepared to, if we need to, get them off the ship and to a dentist as well.
Awesome. Thank you, HM1. All right, so our next question is that even if it's been 4 years since the commissioning of LCS 9 in Buffalo, you guys still feel a strong connection with the city?
Absolutely. You never forget where you were commissioned at. The process, a lot of the sailors that were part of the commissioning crew have transferred, but the legacy that they've left and they've gained from being part of the Buffalo family is immeasurable. I know we did a lot of things with the group to do the memorabilia video last week with my XO. He took a tour of the ship and kind of showed you some of the things that we've taken from the previous USS Little Rock. So yes, the connection's there. We look to strengthen the connection. Unfortunately, due to the things going on in the world, we couldn't make it. I was looking forward to a trip to Buffalo. I've never been to Buffalo, so I was really looking forward to getting up there and meeting everybody in person. Unfortunately, we were unable to, so this is what we have to do. But the connection's there. I look forward to the time that we can get the crew up to Buffalo so they can see the namesake ship and get to know all the great people in Buffalo and the great city of Buffalo, and really take the time to be a part of the commissioning, the people that are part of the commissioning, and just be a part of the city. So we're greatly appreciative of all the work that's gone on in the city of Buffalo.
Thank you, sir. And just as a follow-on question, do you still have any plank owners aboard the ship?
I don't know. We have all the plank owners transferred. I think the last one's transferred earlier this year. Oh, no, take that back. Okay, so I apologize completely. We do have one sitting right here. ET1 is probably one of the last ones who were plank owners. I know part of the blue crew, they've all transferred, but it's the gold crew. I'm sure she's the plank owner. She's probably one of the last 2 or 3.
Could you tell us a little bit about that commissioning experience?
Yes, so it was amazing going up to Buffalo. The city was super receptive and very welcoming to us. It was very cool. I've never been to Buffalo before. So I got to go to the Anchor Bar and try like the original buffalo wings, which was really cool. I also got to go to Niagara Falls for the first time. And it was a really great experience. I wish I could have gone to all the events that the city had planned for us while we were there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do everything, but it was great while I was there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so our next question is, what's the most exciting thing about being out to sea?
Hello, I am Engineman Second Class Edward Harris from Dallas, Texas. Go Cowboys. Great question. The most exciting thing about being out to sea is actually looking at the sea. It's a beautiful view. Me, myself, being from Texas, I don't really get to see too much ocean. So going out there, just let you unwind and being with the shipmates, wonderful time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so this question is, so what is sort of your future career progression here? What's next in your future?
Excellent question. As of right now, I'm at the end of my second division officer tour. So after this, destined for shore duty next. So I'm pretty excited. But I'm looking to sign for department head, which means I'll continue my progression in the Navy. So my goal is to ultimately be a chief engineer. I love engineering, so I'd want to stay in that career progression. And then if that goes well, I'll be an executive officer and then ultimately a commanding officer of the ship, just like Commander Crosby. So, and then who knows, maybe admiral after that. But step one, get through this tour.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And sir, would you be able to come up to give some closing remarks?
Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure to get up here and share our experience with you. I wish we had been able to get to Buffalo and do this in person, but since we could not, we had to do this. So thank you to the people that on the call participating. Thank you to the public affairs team, both here in Mayport and Buffalo, who made this happen. And I know there's a lot of people behind the scenes in the Buffalo Navy Week that made this happen. So thank you for putting this on. I'm greatly appreciated. I know the crew that was here with me today are also appreciative of the efforts that they got to share their experiences and their story. Engaging with the community is highly important to what we do in the Navy, so that we can share our experiences and share what we do, so that maybe we can inspire others to follow in our path and follow in our footsteps and become members of the world's finest Navy. So thank you for your time today, and I look forward to a time we can meet in person. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. This was a really great program and really fascinating to hear more about your experiences and your life on LCS 9, the USS Little Rock. We really appreciate your time today, and we appreciate everybody for joining us. As I mentioned before, we are going to post this talk on our YouTube page, along with a variety of virtual content, a lot from this crew that you're seeing right now, the LCS 9, for Buffalo Navy Week 2021. I also encourage you to visit our website at buffalonavalpark.org to learn more and sign up for our mailing list to be notified of all of our programs and events that are happening. We truly appreciate your support, and we look forward to welcoming you to Buffalo Naval Park in person and to your namesake ship, the USS Little Rock, soon, hopefully sooner than later. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you so much for your service. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great day today.